Hello everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today's story is not only entertainment, it is a lesson, a journey, and maybe the beginning of your own English improvement. The title of today's story is The Girl Who Learned English Through Reading Books. If you have ever opened an English book and closed it after 2 pages because it felt difficult, this story is for you. This is the story of a girl named Shwetha. Chapter 1. The Fear of English. Shwetha was an ordinary girl. She understood a little English, but speaking was difficult. Whenever someone spoke fast English, she became nervous. In school, she stayed quiet. In conversations, she smiled instead of answering. One day, she watched a video online. A person said, "If you want to improve English, read books." Shwetha laughed. "Books? Really?" She thought, "How can reading make me speak?" But she decided to try. Chapter 2. The First Book. The next day, she borrowed a small English storybook, only 30 pages. She opened page 1. First sentence, she understood only half. Second sentence, 3 unknown words. Third sentence, she wanted to quit. She closed the book. Then she remembered something. Nobody becomes good on day 1. So she made a simple rule. Read only 1 page. That day, only 1 page. And she stopped. Chapter 3. Small Steps. Day 2, 2 pages. Day 3, 3 pages. She bought a notebook. Title, My English Growth Book. Every day she wrote, new word, meaning, 1 sentence. Example, dream equals something you want to achieve. Sentence, my dream is to speak English confidently. Small steps, no pressure. Chapter 4. Reading aloud. One evening, she discovered something. Reading silently improved understanding, but reading aloud improved speaking. So she started reading aloud. At first, her pronunciation was not perfect. She repeated difficult sentences, again, again, again. Soon, she stopped feeling embarrassed. Her room became her practice stage. Chapter 5. The New Habit. Weeks passed. Her daily routine became morning, read 10 minutes, afternoon, write new words, night, tell herself the story in English. One day, she noticed something. She was thinking in English. Not complete English, but small thoughts. I am hungry. I need water. This story is interesting. It surprised her. Chapter 6. The Library. One weekend, Shwetha visited a library. Rows and rows of books. She felt excited. She chose adventure, motivation, short stories, biographies. She discovered something important. Different books teach different English. Stories teach imagination. Biographies teach expression. Self-help teaches communication. Chapter 7. The Difficult Day. Then came a difficult day. She tried reading a harder book. Too many unknown words. She became frustrated. She thought, maybe I cannot do this. She almost stopped. But then she opened her notebook. Page 1. Simple words, simple sentences. And she realized she had already improved. She was not starting again. She was continuing. Chapter 8. The First Conversation. Months later, something unexpected happened. A visitor asked her a question in English. Before, she would stay silent, but this time she answered, slowly, simple English, but clearly. The conversation lasted only 2 minutes, yet to her it felt huge, because she finally spoke. Chapter 9. The Secret. People started asking, "How did you improve?" She smiled. She said, "I read books." People expected a shortcut, apps, magic, fast methods, but her answer stayed simple. Books, reading, repeating, speaking. Chapter 10. Building confidence. She continued. Every finished book gave confidence. She stopped worrying about mistakes. She focused on progress. She understood fluent people also learn every day. Nobody finishes learning. Chapter 11. 1 year later. 1 year passed. Shwetha looked at her old notebook. Thousands of words, hundreds of pages, many mistakes, many corrections, many memories. She smiled. The person who feared English became someone who enjoyed learning. If you are watching this today and you think, "My English is weak," remember Shwetha. Start with 1 page, 1 paragraph, 1 story. Do not rush. Books do not change your English overnight, but page by page, they change you. Chapter 12. The day everything felt different. After 1 year of reading, life looked different, not because Shwetha became perfect, but because she became comfortable. One morning, she opened a new English book. This time, she didn't count unknown words. She didn't translate every sentence. She simply read, and suddenly she realized something. She understood the story, without stopping, without fear. She smiled. That small moment meant more than any exam result, because progress is often quiet. Chapter 13. The Challenge. One evening, her cousin visited. They talked. Then her cousin said, "Can you explain this story in English?" Immediately, old fear returned. Her hands felt cold. Her mind became empty. She remembered how difficult English used to feel. But she answered, slowly, simple words, small sentences. Not perfect, but she continued. Her cousin listened and said, "Your English improved." That one sentence stayed in her mind all day. Chapter 14. Reading became a lifestyle. Months passed. Books were no longer homework. Books became part of life. Waiting somewhere? Read 2 pages. Before sleeping? Read 5 pages. Free afternoon? Read 1 chapter. She learned something powerful. People who improve are not always more talented. They are often more consistent. Chapter 15. Her own method. Now, Shwetha created her own system. Step 1. Read 1 chapter. Step 2. Underline only useful words. Step 3. Speak about the chapter. Step 4. Write a summary. Step 5. Repeat next day. Simple. No pressure. Chapter 16. The Book Club. One day, she joined a small reading group. Everyone discussed books. At first, she listened. Then, she started sharing ideas. Her voice shook, but she spoke. Someone said, "I like your explanation." Another person asked, "What book do you recommend?" She smiled. Months ago, she didn't even want to talk. Now, people wanted her opinion. Chapter 17. The Hidden Benefit. Something surprising happened. Reading improved more than English. It improved patience, thinking, creativity, confidence. She became calmer. She listened more carefully. She expressed herself better. Books changed language, but they also changed habits. Chapter 18. The difficult month. Then came a month when she stopped reading. Busy schedule, no motivation. Days passed. She felt disappointed. She thought she lost progress. But one evening, she picked up a book again, read one page, then another. She realized progress never disappears completely. You can always continue. Chapter 19. Teaching others. Soon, friends started asking, "How do I improve English?" She shared her method. Read, speak, write, repeat. One friend said, "I don't have confidence." Shwetha replied, "Confidence comes after practice, not before." Chapter 20. A new goal. Now she had a bigger dream. Not only speaking English, she wanted to inspire others. She started making videos, sharing stories, sharing lessons, sharing progress. She wanted someone somewhere to believe improvement was possible. Chapter 21. The final lesson. Years later, she opened her very first notebook. The first page said, "Read one page." She laughed. That small goal started everything. She understood. Big results often begin with tiny habits. One page, one day, one decision. If you are watching this, you do not need to read 100 books. Start with one. Read a little, learn a little, speak a little. One day, you may surprise yourself. Chapter 22. The book that started everything. One day, after finishing another book, Shwetha asked herself, "I want to continue improving, but which book should I read next?" She searched for difficult books, big books, long books. But then she remembered something. When learning, easy books are not weakness. Easy books are training. So she started choosing beginner books. The first book she picked was a simple story, short chapters, easy sentences, and for the first time, reading felt enjoyable. She finished the book, then another, then another. Soon she made a list called Books That Helped Me Learn English. She wrote, Oxford Bookworm Stories, Easy English with Short Chapters, The Secret Garden, Simple Words and Beautiful Storytelling, Alice in Wonderland, Fun Conversations and Imagination, The Jungle Book, Easy Descriptions and Memorable Characters, Aesop's Fables, Short Stories with Life Lessons, The Little Prince, Simple English with Meaningful Ideas. Every time she finished one book, she celebrated, not with prizes, but with one sentence, I finished another step. Then she created a new habit. After every chapter, she asked herself, what happened? Which 5 words did I learn? Can I explain this story in English? At first, her answers were small, but day by day, they became longer. One evening, she looked at her shelf. Books she once thought were impossible now looked friendly, and she understood something important. You do not become good at English because you finish difficult books. You become good because you keep reading. So if you are starting today, choose one easy book. Read one page. Tomorrow, read one more. Your first book may become the beginning of a completely new version of yourself. Chapter 23. The Promise. After making her reading list, Shwetha made a promise to herself. Not a big promise, not "I will become fluent in 1 month," not "I will finish 100 books," only this: "I will read every day. Even 1 page counts, even 5 minutes counts," because she learned something. Small actions repeated every day become powerful. Chapter 24. The First Finished Book. A few days later, she completed an entire English book. It was not long, it was not difficult, but it was her first complete English book. She looked at the last page, closed the book, and smiled. No certificate, no audience, just a quiet moment. But inside, she felt proud. Months ago, she thought she could never finish one. Now she had. Chapter 25. The New Notebook. She opened another notebook. Title: English Through Books. Inside, she created sections: new words, favorite sentences, story summaries, speaking practice. Every finished book got 1 page. Soon, the notebook became thicker, not because she was perfect, because she kept showing up. Chapter 26. The Unexpected Change. One afternoon, she noticed something unusual. While watching videos, she understood more English. While listening, she recognized words. While speaking, sentences came faster. She realized reading had quietly improved everything. Not only reading, listening, speaking, thinking. Chapter 27. The Difficult Conversation. Then came another challenge. Someone asked her, "What book changed your life?" Before, she would answer with 1 word. Now she explained for nearly 2 minutes. Simple English, clear ideas. When she finished, the person said, "You explain things well." That sentence stayed in her mind. Chapter 28. Building Confidence Slowly. Shwetha stopped comparing herself with others. She stopped saying, "They speak better." Instead, she asked, "Am I better than last month?" That question changed everything. She understood growth is personal, page by page, day by day. Chapter 29. Her Reading Formula. Now her daily routine became: morning, read 5 pages; afternoon, write 5 words; evening, speak for 3 minutes; night, read again before sleeping. Nothing complicated, just consistency. Chapter 30. The Story Inside Every Book. One evening, she sat quietly, looking at her bookshelf, and she realized every book gave more than English. One taught courage, one taught patience, one taught discipline, one taught hope. Books were becoming teachers. And with that, today's story comes to an end. But remember, the story is not over. A new chapter is waiting. We will continue this journey in the next part. Until then, take care of yourself, keep reading, keep learning, and keep growing every day. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share with your friends, and subscribe to support the channel. Comment below, which book are you reading now? Thank you for watching till the end. See you in the next part. Bye and take care.